Greatness didn't find him. He chased it down and took it by force. Olympic gold forged the foundation. Two-time unified heavyweight champion proved it wasn't luck. His jab doesn't touch, it pierces. His uppercut doesn't land, it erases. Every exchange carries intent. Every opponent feels the threat. Because when Anthony Joshua steps forward, the heavyweight division shifts. When the arena empties, the command doesn't fade, it follows him home. A Rolls-Royce Phantom glides through city streets, silent but undeniable, leading back to a glass-lined mansion where marble floors reflect hard-earned trophies. And stillness replaces the chaos of fight night. Championships inside the ropes. A $150 million empire outside them. So, before we break down the knockouts, the comebacks, and the reign of heavyweight royalty, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because this isn't just boxing, this is controlled dominance. In the quiet town of Watford, England, on October 15th, 1989, a storm was born. Not of thunder or lightning, but of raw power, precision, and unyielding purpose. He entered the world with royal Nigerian blood coursing through his veins, yet the ring recognizes no kings, only warriors. His early years unfolded between two worlds. The structured rigor of Nigeria shaped him long before a glove ever touched his hand. Long mornings of drills, long afternoons of lessons. Order was the rhythm of life. But at 12, everything changed. His parents' separation brought him back to the UK, where he had to reinvent himself quietly, cautiously. At Kings Langley, he became Femi, watchful, reserved, speaking less with words and more with movement. On the track, in football, in every explosive burst of athleticism, he left no doubt. Talent ran in his bones. Records fell. Peers stared. Yet the true arena, the one that would define him, waited patiently, as if aware a giant was still learning to rise. When he first stepped into a boxing gym, the puzzle pieces clicked. Power met discipline. Size met coordination. Hunger met purpose. His ascent through the amateur ranks was swift, unstoppable. In 2011, silver at the World Championships signaled arrival. A year later, Olympic gold in front of a roaring London crowd transformed him from promising athlete into a national icon. Turning professional in 2013 was more than a career move, it was a statement. Titles came fast, knockouts relentless, a storm now fully unleashed. By 2017, under Wembley's blinding lights, he faced Vladimir Klitschko, a battle of past versus future, courage versus chaos, ending with a thunderous uppercut that sent Klitschko crashing to the canvas and cemented Joshua as boxing's new heavyweight standard-bearer. At 6 feet 6 inches and over 110 kilograms of sheer force, he was a spectacle inside the ring. Joshua's journey into boxing began unusually late. At 18, when most future champions had already logged hundreds of rounds, he walked into Finchley ABC in North London on a casual suggestion from his cousin. What he found was more than a sport, it was a calling. The gym, the rhythm of punches, the discipline, the strategy, it all resonated instantly. His frame, a combination of explosive athleticism and natural size, seemed almost designed for the ring. That patience would soon pay off. Within 3 years, he had already twice claimed the Haringey Box Cup and secured the Senior ABA Championship, feats that left coaches and opponents astounded. But comfort was never his destination. His amateur career quickly catapulted him onto the international stage. By the end, his amateur record stood at 40-3, and the British Crown recognized him with an MBE in the 2013 New Year Honors. Turning professional in July 2013, he made an immediate impact. At London's O2 Arena, he dispatched Emanuele Leo in under 3 minutes, showcasing the power that would define his career. Each fight thereafter reinforced his reputation. A procession of knockouts, thrilling audiences, and sending a warning to opponents. Underestimating Joshua came at a cost. His first 10 professional bouts lasted a cumulative 36 minutes, none of his adversaries reaching the final bell. Titles followed swiftly. The WBC International Heavyweight title arrived in October 2014, followed by a stunning stoppage of veteran Kevin Johnson in May 2015, a feat that neither Vitali Klitschko, Tyson Fury, nor Derek Chisora had managed. That victory was more than a statement. It was a warning. September 12, 2015, brought the Commonwealth Heavyweight title, a 90-second demolition of undefeated Scottish boxer Gary Cornish. But perhaps the most defining moment of that period came against Dillian Whyte, the only man to have beaten him as an amateur. Joshua weathered his first real professional crisis, emerging with a devastating 7th-round knockout, securing the British heavyweight title and proving he could thrive under pressure. The world stage beckoned. On April 9, 2016, Joshua faced IBF heavyweight champion Charles Martin at the O2 Arena. 2 precise, straight rights in the second round floored Martin. Just like that, Joshua claimed his first world title. Martin's 85-day reign became a historical footnote, but Joshua's ascent was far from complete. Success brought unification, challenges, and pressure. After defending against Dominic Breazeale and Eric Molina, he faced his defining trial, Vladimir Klitschko, in front of 90,000 fans at Wembley Stadium. The bout was brutal, a back-and-forth war that tested endurance, courage, and heart. He dropped Klitschko in the 5th, only to taste his own adversity with a knockdown in the 6th. The middle rounds were a tense chess match of attrition, until Joshua, digging deep, landed 2 uppercuts in the 11th round that finally ended the battle. He unified the IBF and WBA Super titles and was celebrated as boxing's new standard bearer. That night, he became more than a champion. He became a legend. After Klitschko, his reign continued. He defeated Carlos Takam, then added the WBO title against Joseph Parker, his first fight to go the distance. Alexander Povetkin fell to a 7th-round knockout, keeping Joshua undefeated, dominant, and feared. But comfort was never the goal. Then, the world reminded him that no champion is untouchable. June 1st, 2019, Madison Square Garden, against late replacement Andy Ruiz Jr. One of boxing's greatest upsets unfolded. Joshua had Ruiz on the canvas in the 3rd round, but the tables turned violently. For knockdowns later, Joshua's unified titles had slipped away. Shock and disbelief swept the globe. Humiliation was heavy, but lessons are heavier still. 6 months later, in Saudi Arabia, he returned, leaner, smarter, and methodical. He reclaimed his titles via unanimous decision, proving adaptability could restore what was lost. December 2020 brought Kubrat Pulev, and a 9th-round knockout confirmed Joshua's resilience and tactical growth. Plans for an undisputed showdown with Tyson Fury were scuttled, and the next test came from Alexander Usyk. September 25, 2021, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Usyk's angles, movement, and precision exposed Joshua's limitations. The rematch in August 2022 improved his performance, but a split decision loss revealed the emotional and psychological cost of consecutive defeats. Even the invincible can feel vulnerability. His road back was a story of persistence. Wins over Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, and Otto Wallen restored confidence. March 2024 saw a 2nd-round knockout of former UFC champion Francis Ngannou, a statement that he was still a force. The momentum seemed unstoppable until September 21, 2024, when Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium echoed the Ruiz shock, ending with a 5th-round knockout. Once again, heavyweight boxing humiliated even its giants. Through meteoric rises, staggering victories, shocking defeats, and determined comebacks, Anthony Joshua's career is a saga of relentless drama. From late starter to Olympic champion, from knockout artist to tactical strategist, from unified champion to dethroned contender, his journey embodies the glory, heartbreak, and unpredictability of boxing's highest stage. And as the next chapter looms, can Anthony Joshua ever truly reclaim the throne, or has the heavyweight kingdom evolved beyond even his prodigious power? His journey from modest beginnings to global superstardom has granted him wealth that could overwhelm most, yet he wields it with intelligence, not ostentation. His property holdings tell a story of strategy and roots. From a symbolic purchase of his mother's council flat in North London for £175,000 to a sprawling empire of homes, Joshua has built a sanctuary that balances luxury with grounding familiarity. His primary residence, a £1 million architectural masterpiece, is more than a home. It is a base for recovery, reflection, and preparation between grueling training camps. In Watford, multiple houses valued collectively at over £2 million form a private compound, blending comfort with control, just as he blends power and technique in the ring. Then there's his automotive collection, a gallery of engineering and elegance that mirrors his personality. The customized Range Rover SV Autobiography dynamic commands both roads and respect, while the Jaguar XJR embodies explosive speed reminiscent of his fighting style. The Mercedes V8 exudes understated sophistication, perfect for public appearances. Most telling, however, is the Rolls-Royce Phantom, purchased not for himself but for his mother, a testament to loyalty, family, and values beyond material wealth. Each car is carefully chosen, a symbol of refinement, purpose, and intention, never excess. Time, too, is a tool Joshua respects. His watches, from the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore to the Royal Oak Chronograph in rose gold, are mechanical masterpieces that echo the precision, timing, and strategy he applies in every fight. Even his travels are intentional. Private jets ferry him to Mediterranean coastlines or Dubai's resorts, not for indulgence, but for recovery, focus, and renewal, ensuring he returns to the gym with body and mind aligned. Every mansion, vehicle, watch, and journey reflects a man who understands that wealth is a framework for freedom and an extension of personal excellence. But beyond the material, there is something far more vital that shapes him: love. Behind the flash of cameras and the gleam of championship belts lies a man whose heart revolves around one constant: his son, Joseph Joshua, born in 2015. Quiet, steady, and grounded, JJ is more than a child. He is Joshua's anchor, a reminder that every triumph and setback carries meaning beyond the ring. His relationship with JJ's mother, Nicole Osborne, ended years ago, yet respect and devotion endure. In his world, fame and fortune pale in comparison to family. He keeps his personal life fiercely private, shielding those he loves from the glare of celebrity. Here, the fighter steps aside. The father takes center stage. This duality, champion in the ring, devoted father outside it, is what truly defines Anthony Joshua, proving that greatness isn't measured only in belts or wealth, but in the care, loyalty, and love he carries into every corner of his life. Before the world knew him as a knockout artist, Joshua built with his hands in another arena entirely. Brick by brick, he worked as a laborer, shaping homes and laying foundations. It was honest work, grounding him, teaching patience, and giving him a perspective most athletes never experience. Yet even then, his path was far from linear. In 2009, he faced one of life's harshest lessons when he was remanded in Reading Prison, a stark warning of how easily talent alone could be squandered. 2 years later, a speeding stop in North London revealed 8 ounces of cannabis hidden in his car, threatening not just his boxing career, but his freedom. Facing the possibility of a 14-year sentence, Joshua confronted a choice that would define him: surrender to circumstance or rebuild himself with discipline and focus. Through these trials, he discovered tools beyond brute strength. Chess sharpened his mind, reading broadened his vision. He immersed himself in the histories of legends: Ali, Tyson, Holmes, Lewis, Holyfield, not merely to replicate their punches, but to absorb their thinking, their strategy, and their mindset. Even today, he often credits hours of silent study and games of chess as a way to cultivate patience, foresight, and calculated risk, skills that serve him both in the ring and in business. Ambition, for Joshua, has never been confined to boxing. He transformed himself into a businessman, a strategist, and a global brand. Sparta Promotions, his company, has grown into a multi-million-pound enterprise, earning tens of millions in profit and establishing him as more than a fighter. A shrewd entrepreneur capable of navigating high-stakes business just as deftly as he navigates a fight. AJBXNG, his lifestyle and clothing brand, is not merely a line of apparel. It is a statement of identity, a blend of discipline, fashion, and athletic pride that allows fans to connect with his story and aspire to it. His competitive hunger does not end with fashion or business. In 2023, he entered the world of Formula One, investing in Alpine racing, a high-octane arena that demands precision, split-second decision-making, and nerves of steel. It is a fitting extension of his persona. Wherever there is competition, he seeks the challenge, whether in the ring, on the racetrack, or in corporate boardrooms. Even as he built empires, Joshua remained mindful of life's intangibles. He has a penchant for luxury that reflects thought, not flamboyance. The Rolls-Royce Phantom for his mother, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak watches that mirror his love for precision, and private jets that serve both comfort and strategic recovery. Yet he remains a man who measures wealth not merely by material possessions, but by influence, legacy, and the ability to leave a meaningful mark on the world. His life outside the ring has not been without turbulence. From social media controversies to politically charged speeches, he has weathered public scrutiny with the same resilience he brings to boxing. Every misstep became a lesson, every backlash an opportunity to refine his image, his decisions, and his understanding of influence. Even in lighter moments, his personality shines. He has a love for strategy games, enjoys tinkering with cars, and is known to enjoy a quiet evening of family meals or a weekend golf session. All seemingly mundane, yet essential habits for a man whose life is otherwise defined by extremes. His ability to blend discipline with moments of normalcy, focus with joy, and ambition with humanity makes him as compelling outside the ring as he is inside it. From a chaotic youth, through trials that could have broken him, to a life of global influence, luxury, and family devotion, he has shown that the same discipline that hammers fists can build empires and hearts. Yet the ultimate question remains. When the next fight comes, can this carefully constructed life withstand the pressures of a sport that has humbled him twice? And beyond that, how will Anthony Joshua continue to evolve as a fighter, a father, a businessman, and an icon? In a world where every move is scrutinized and every empire must constantly be defended, the answers are yet unwritten, and they may prove as riveting as any bout in his storied career. Before you go, if you want to support the channel and be part of what we're building, consider becoming a channel member through the link in the description. Members get early access to new videos, the chance to suggest future topics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more long-form boxing documentaries like this one. And when you're ready, check out our deep dive into Terence Crawford, another career shaped by dominance, discipline, and legacy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next chapter.